And welcome back, my dear air acolytes, to Breaking Wind, a last Airbender podcast. And as you can see, my friend over there is happy because something has finally ended.
It's over.
It's over. I have to say, I don't know if I'd call it the worst, but the most unpleasant story arc in Avatar history is Dunsky. And he's happy and I'm happy because we are at episode 17 of book 2, Lake Laogai. And not only does the Where's Appa storyline ends, this is the episode where Jet stops sucking. And I think that is a great character choice for him.
I was waiting. I will say I was waiting for him to be Jet, but he's kind of good Jet.
Yeah, he's not Jet. He's Jet. It's like you still suck, but you suck less. Let's see how. So we start out. Oh God, where's Appa? I gotta say, whoever did the posters did really well because you know that he had to do it from their description, because there are no pictures. I mean, well, maybe there's pictures of Sky Bison somewhere, but they had to explain what Appa looks like, and I think the artist was pretty on point personally. And of course, you got Aang's picture down there. Is this really smart though? Because there are like wanted posters of him around too.
I didn't know they had photocopiers, so I would assume that that artist was very busy because that was a lot of leaflets.
Oh yeah. And is it like Kinko's? You go in and it's like 5 cents a copy, and the guy's like, he's like, they can't hang these around town because it's legal, but I don't care. I'm getting the money. Of course, we get the return of Judy.
I love this.
That is one of my favorite things. Like, Judy, what happened to you? What do you mean? You were gone and you were replaced. No, I wasn't. Oh my gosh.
How they animate her just so she's smiling and joyful. How creepy she looks there, dude.
Okay, do something. Everybody at home, Jace, I want you to do this as well. Take your hand and I'm going to put the picture up, but I want you to take your hand and I want you to cover the bottom part of her face and look at her eyes. Those are not happy eyes.
No,
those are sad, pained eyes, and I think that is absolutely brilliant. That's me every day at work, just kind of like, hello, children. Welcome back. It's so good to see you. I'm just kidding. I love my children. I do. I love them. No, I do. I genuinely do like these kids. If they're watching, I do love you.
Yeah, it's actually annoying how much you like your students. But move on. Let's
not talk about my job now. So anyway, Judy shows up and tells them, you can't hang these posters around town because it's illegal and you're not allowed to do it anymore. And Team Avatar is like, shut up, Judy, we're going to do what we want. And they go around hanging up the posters. Funny scene. Toph decides that she doesn't need help and she hangs up a poster and just immediately realizes she hung it up wrong without anybody telling her. And I love the fact that whenever she said, I hung it upside down, didn't I? Nobody told her, well, actually, you hung it on the wrong side, but whatever. They're
so interesting. They do a lot of jokes around her lack of sight, but none of them are nasty or vindictive.
No,
but they're bold.
They are bold, and I think it fits Toph's character because Toph is an extremely tough person. And the only time she shows any vulnerability is whenever her sightlessness kind of embarrasses her in unexpected ways. For example, in the very beginning of the episode, whenever Sokka draws that really terrible Sky Bison, and she says, "Oh, it looks great to me," and Sokka goes, "Thank you, Toph. Why do you do this?" It's self-deprecating humor right there. But whenever it genuinely embarrasses her, you see some vulnerability that you don't normally see in Toph, and I think that's excellent for her character. There is a scene in the 3rd season. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but she ends up in a situation where she's hanging in the air, and Sokka has her by the arm, and he's the only thing that's keeping her from falling. And for the first time, you see genuine terror in her eyes because she can't see anything. Like the only thing she can see and feel is Sokka holding her arm, and she knows she knows that she's screwed if she falls.
Well, that's right. That because it's all about Earth, isn't it?
Yeah,
How she.
yeah,
So yeah.
most definitely. Speaking of Earth, we go back to Longfang, henceforth called Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown gets word that they're looking for the Sky Bison, and that Judy has failed, and Judy is very apologetic and very scared. And you have been invited by the Earth King to Lake Laogai. I am honored to accept the invitation. And she leaves. And oh, she's getting reprogrammed again. Poor Judy.
Yeah, it's you realize that
Tell
lake
me.
ain't a happy lake. Yeah,
It is not a happy lake. Lake Laogai, more like Lake Laogai. I don't know. That's a lame thing. Shut up. Don't say anything else. But yeah, Clancy Brown decides that maybe he needs to keep a closer eye on the Avatar. But who he should be keeping a closer eye on is Uncle Iroh, who has been offered his own tea shop. And of course, he's very, very excited about this because it's a dream of his to own a tea shop. And yes, everything's coming up Iroh. And Iroh's such a sweetheart. Forget he's a war criminal for a minute. Everything's coming up Iroh, and he's so happy. But however, Zuko is not, because this is not the life he wants. He's getting upset that everything is coming up Iroh, but nothing's coming up Zuko. And he feels that way until he finds a poster. Look, it's the Avatar Sky Bison. This is reawakening feelings in me, Uncle.
That surprised me. I must say, when I was watching the episode, my initial reaction to his reaction was like, dude, I thought we were past this. But he's not past it, is he?
He's not. He's not. He's just been coping this entire time. He still wants to go home. He still craves that acceptance from his father. He still craves that, I would even say he craves that relationship with his sister. He wants back in that toxic relationship because he thinks that's normal. And unfortunately, you see that a lot with abused people, is that they think that's normal and they think that's love. But we will get into that again here in just a moment, because guess who's back? Jet's back, and Jet still sucks. Jet shows up unexpectedly, and Katara just about whoops him in the alleyway, which I thought was great, because that is how Jet should be treated, because Jet
did whoop him.
Jet is horrible. She did whoop him. He does hold his own, though, because that is one thing I can say about Jet, is he does hold his own against benders. But he tells them, hey, I think I know where Appa is, and I've changed. I left my gang behind. I'm just trying to be good. But as they're walking through the streets, Jet's gang shows up. They're like, Jet, oh my gosh, we thought that you had been captured. Where have you been? And you get this conundrum of Jet saying, what are you talking about? I wasn't captured. Yes, you were. We saw you pulled away by the Earth Kingdom, by the Dai Li. Then Toph, which I think using her powers very creatively, realizes that both of them are telling the truth, or at least both of them think they're telling the truth. So Jet has been brainwashed. I wonder how that happened.
Yeah. That initially, when they said that, though, for some weird reason, basically because I'm stupid, it didn't occur to me he was brainwashed. A little bit later, oh yeah, he's been brainwashed.
Oh yeah, the lamp of doom was like circling his head. I really like that they use Katara's healing powers in a very unique way, because she's trying to basically unbrainwash Jet at this point. And I thought, does she really know how the human brain works, or does the water know how the brain works? I don't know. But apparently it works.
It was cool.
Yeah, Jet's brain is dirtied again. I guess that's the opposite of brainwashing, is brain dirty. And Jet tells them, hey, I was under a lake. I think I know where it's at. Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about that. And we have the return of the Blue Spirit. Gee, I wonder who that is. Who is that person who sounds just like Dante Bosco? Oh yes, it's Zuko. He's off to go get the bison.
It's a fixed mask too, isn't it? Is that a new mask, or has he patched it up?
I think it's I don't know. I think he just like goes to arts and craft stores and like just buys Halloween masks and paints them.
Yeah, they're
Maybe it's
already
just a
molded.
popular
He just
thing.
buys the
Yeah.
paints and then paints it
Yeah,
afterwards.
it comes with those little garbage bag costumes, so he just throws the garbage bag away and just paints that. It's a cool mask, though. I really like it. Okay, I'm having Borderlands flashbacks because
I just
that
think
is.
it's
Oh, God.
just a little bit of inside scoop here. Jason gets all the pictures organized and I do the thumbnail. And I just love that we always seem to match up because that's the image I think I use for the thumbnail.
Well, you know what they say, great minds. So I don't know why ours are always.
Yeah, I don't know why
synchronizing.
it's working for us then. Yeah.
So the gang goes to Lake Laogai. Toph does some bending to open up the door. They go downstairs and they find it's a gigantic brainwashing facility, and there are tons of Judies, and
Look
they're
at that
all being
animation,
brainwashed.
Jason.
That is so disturbing.
Those front
So-
three victims there, just the animation on it, gorgeous.
You kind of feel bad for laughing at Judy in the first couple of times you see her because you realize, wow, she really is just a victim at this point. And
the
is she in
implication.
this? Is she in this group shot right now? Is our Judy in there? Or is that her in the
I
front? It's hard to
don't
tell
know.
with that lighting.
But the
Yeah,
implication that she's gone through it multiple times
Yeah,
is even more disturbing.
that's something she's never going to recover from either. It's very sad. But anyway, Aang and the others follow Jet's lead to where Appa is being held, and this is one of my favorite fake outs in cinema because it happens all the time. It happened in Silence of the Lambs. It happened in Batman, The Dark Knight, and I love it whenever the good guys open up a door and the person inside the room reacts. And you realize the person inside the room is reacting not to the person who just opened the door, but to something else who also opened the door because the Blue Spirit has found Appa. And the Blue Spirit is tired of this story arc too, and he just wants it over with. So he's going to hold Appa prisoner and get the Avatar to come out. Aang, however, has come across Clancy Brown, who, he apparently he was just down there waiting for them, of course, because he kidnapped and brainwashed Jet. And then we get a really cool action sequence. We get Toph showing off some really cool Earthbender moves, besting the Dali, who are like the best fighters in the Earth Kingdom. You know, you were the best fighters in the Earth Kingdom. Meet Toph. She's going to whoop your butt. Who would win in a fight between Toph and Boomy, though?
Well, that would be an epic thing.
That would be epic.
That would be epic.
Yeah.
You know what's so good though? It never feels stale with the moves. They always seem to come up with another clever way to express her abilities.
Yes, and they always look great. Always look great. However, Aang and Jet follow Clancy Brown, and Jet says the words, "Jet, the Earth King has invited you to Lake Laogai," and Jet instantly turns on Aang. And I love
that's a good little moment.
Yeah, because Jet is a formidable fighter, no matter how bad he sucks. As a human being, he's a formidable fighter. He's been fighting benders his entire life. One thing I like about Jet's character is that he shows that normal people can beat benders if they're skilled enough.
Yeah.
And he is skilled. Not only is he skilled, but Aang really doesn't want to hurt him for some reason.
This show would have been so easy to have made everybody have powers. The fact that they don't, and the fact that they, like you've just said, we will see like the Kyosho warriors, they can match it to benders, and you know what I mean. Jet can match it to benders. So I love the fact that they don't take it too far, like you would in a comic book series or something. You know, they just handle it very well.
I enjoy that as well, and the whole disparity between benders and non-benders is actually explored in the first season of Korra, which I think is really cool because you basically non-benders start to feel like they're a lower class of people, and so you get this pushback against people who can bend, and it's pretty fascinating social construct. And of course, you get the pond scum rising from the bottom to take advantage of it. But yes, Clancy Brown, well, there's no other way of saying this. Jet gets smushed by a rock. And this is the moment where Jet stops sucking because Jet stops living.
Is that the end of Jet? Is that the end of Jet? Do we think it's the end of Jet? I don't know.
It's the end of Jet. It's the end of Jet. I'm just going to tell you. They mention Jet later on, and it's done in such a... Okay, I'm not going to give away a spoiler. I am going to say Jet is mentioned again, but they deal with it in such a disrespectful manner. It's like the writers even admit Jet sucks by that point. It's just kind of like, hey, did Jet die?
Wow.
And that's the end of it.
Wow, Jet's dead.
Yeah,
Jet's dead.
Yeah, Jet's dead. Jet's dead. But I will say they gave him a heck of a death scene, because they brought back a couple of things. First of all, he dies with a smile on his face. He tells Katara, "Get out of here. I'm going to be fine." And then you get that line from Toph saying, "He's lying." Oh, yeah. I love that. That was so effective.
Yeah, and that was actually.
It's one of those moments where you see like genuine emotion from Toph. It's not just being flippant or defensive. She's actually very sad, because she doesn't know Jet sucks. He's literally just somebody she just met.
Yeah, who helped them in their cause.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know why you guys all have a problem with Jet. He seems really nice. Wait, he tried to do what to an entire village? He sucks. We get another great scene following almost immediately, and that is Iroh shows up. Two things. He already knows that his nephew is the Blue Spirit, and apparently he's known the entire time because he's Iroh and he's smart. And then he just goes off on him. He goes off on him saying, you need to decide who you want to be and what you want. And you're not used to seeing Iroh this mad, especially at Zuko. But this is Iroh. It's that tough love right now.
Well, he's trying to get him to be free thinking and think for himself and think about what he wants. And I think his frustration is born out of the fact that his obsession is not allowing him to mature as a person.
This is basically an intervention by this point. It's like, I see that you are already reverting back to trying to catch the Avatar, and I'm sick of your crap. We're going to have this out right now. Great scene. Again, the loss of Mako to this story, to this series, was devastating. And
I knew it was Mako doing the voice in this particular thing, because the way it was delivered.
He does like 99% of the vocals for the rest of the season, because he did pass away during production. But, and I will say, the gentleman who replaced him does a fantastic job, and he's very respectful. He's always held Mako in such high regard, and you just love him for that. But man, Mako was just so great in this role. Just a shame, just an absolute shame. But what is not a shame is that the gang comes up to the surface, and what to their wandering eyes should appear but a sky bison with no reindeer, and he's on a mission of death.
Angry.
He's angry. He's an angry little sky bison. Yes. But Mako. Oh my gosh, I got Mako in the brain. The sky bison. Oh my God. Appa comes down and basically like grabs Clancy Brown by the hand, and I'm thinking, oh, is he about to disarm him for real? And just kind of throws him away. And I thought that was great. Of course, you get the wonderful
moment we've been waiting for 75 episodes.
We have, they're both happy to see each other, and they are both so happy that this stinking thing is over. And
I forgot the moment there's Sokka, isn't he? Like Sokka,
Yep.
I forgot. I was so focused on Aang when I was watching it, like that connection. But what a cute little moment there.
Yeah, well, if you really look at what Toph is doing. Yeah. Got her hand on his little nose, and she's like, I can feel your...
and even Momo.
You have vengeance in your heart. Yeah. Show me where the Earth King is, small child.
I've seen things.
I've seen things, terrible things. I have done things that I will never undo, seen things I will never unsee. May I have that hay? May I eat Momo? No, very well.
I will say it's a moment that I had been wanting to hurry up, but now I'm really excited because I have no idea where this story is going.
It goes in some interesting directions because this is what 16. We have 17, 18, 19, and 20 to go. 4 more episodes, and we're done
Yeah.
with season 2. So yeah,
Yep.
season 2 ends in a very interesting way. I will say that. And speaking of ending in an interesting way, we have Zuko and Iroh on the surface. Iroh says, "You did the right thing because Zuko let the Sky Bison go. Appa is free because of Zuko." And to kind of bury his obsession once and for all, he takes his blue spirit mask and throws it into Lake Laogai, where it sinks to the bottom like a certain hockey mask that we've seen sink to the bottom plenty of times. And just like a certain hockey mask, is that
To a high
obsession
beam.
really dead? Probably not. Probably not.
Probably not. But again, and now we got characters where I don't know where these guys are headed. I have no idea what Iroh is going to be up to in the rest of the game. I love it. I love being going, what's next?
It's so magnificently vague. It is
Mm,
great. I love doing this show because it's like seeing the show again through new eyes, just seeing, what were the questions that I had at the time because you have them. So yeah, it's
yeah.
fun. This is fun. I like this. I hope everybody else is having fun. And if you are having fun, fun don't come for free. So please consider becoming a Patreon for as low as $5 a month. There are links to this wonderful giving program down in the video comments below. We'll do things. Not the things that Appa did, but we can do things.
Oh, I'll do the things that Upper did.
Yeah, I probably
I'm
would.
pretty close to him physically.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of a Momo myself in that I thoughtlessly eat everything around me and steal food. Oh my goodness. So any closing
What's the
thoughts
next
on
episode?
Oh my goodness, that is a good question. What is the next episode? Watch as I
The Earth
stall.
King.
The
The
Earth
Earth
King.
King.
Oh, yes. Yes. Do you remember the bear?
Yes, a
We
long time ago.
Yes, we get the man behind the bear. So
Ooh, okay.
yes, and not what you're expecting. I will say, whatever you're expecting, don't expect it.
Well, because I would say, Jace, we're starting to write the ship back now to the core mission.
Yes,
You got to learn some skills.
yes.
The clock is ticking. That clock never stopped ticking in the last 5 episodes. So
I think that's why I did not like this story arc. First of all, of course, any story arc that involves the loss or even like temporary loss of an animal, because no, not
yeah,
once did I ever think that Appa was not coming back. One, it bothers me on a fundamental level because I am an animal lover. I have
me
lots
too.
of pets, and I
Yeah,
anything happens to them, and I'm just absolutely crumpled for a
uh,
week. I stepped on
yeah.
little murder beans the other day, and she cried, and I picked her up. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm a horrible human being,"
Like I
and
say to my
I was upset
kids,
for an hour. If
like I
somebody,
used to say to my kids, you never hurt animals. Never hurt
no,
animals, all
no,
right? Unless you can make that animal, you don't hurt it.
exactly.
However, if you get out of line, I can make other kids.
Oh goodness. Anyway,
I'm a good father.
I didn't like this arc because I felt like it was a detour that lasted way too long. I
They
feel
really
like if
stretched this though, didn't they? A long
they
way.
did, and I felt like to tell the stories about Appa being missing, instead of taking what 5 or 6 episodes, do it in 3. It could have been
Yeah, I
done
was
in
going to
3.
say even a two-parter. You could have probably
Yeah,
squeezed it all in.
yeah,
Um,
but I
so
just
we can't as much as I have the same complaints. There is some magic that does happen throughout that, and the
oh yeah,
Tales of Basking Say is probably
that could have been one of the
probably the
2 or 3
highlight in
episodes.
that little arc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just saw this. I saw the entire story arc as a distraction, and as you said, the clock is still ticking, and I just feel like you know, Aang became kind of unlikable. I can understand he's upset, but he just became full on unlikable in this
Mm.
arc at times. The comet is still coming, or I'm sorry, the eclipse is still coming, so that is still a thing that they apparently forget about. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was more of a distraction than an actual story I cared about. But hindsight's 2020,
Yeah.
and I'm sure at the time it probably sounded like a good idea. They did need a reason to
Well,
stick
the
around
thing
Boston
is,
Say
what
though.
I've been so shocked about this series, and one thing I didn't expect was so much character development with Aang, because to me it would have been, oh well, he's Aang, he's the Avatar, so he's pretty well got his stuff all sorted. He's centered, he's matured, he knows what he has to do. And this show has shown me no, he is still a kid. He still does things in that kind of way. His emotions are definitely not matured. He makes a lot of mistakes. And I think that has been one of the great joys of the show, is really how they've done. Because Aang's done things that I have not liked. He's reacted in ways that I do not agree with. But he's still human.
He's a child.
Even though he's the Avatar and a child.
He's a traumatized child.
Yeah.
That's who he is. And every single character on this show is a traumatized child.
Yeah, in some way. They're all dealing with it. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm happy that the arc's over with, because I was not a fan.
Well, again, we're 3 episodes from finishing this season. Then we'll be jumping into season 3. So
yes,
and once we're into season 3, we're heading to the home stretch. So
we are, and season 3 is a season where every episode things just get crazier and crazier and crazier. Right. It's honestly out of all of the Avatar episodes, you get just the best, most consistent episodes in season 3. I don't really think that there's a low point, so I'm really looking forward to getting there. But we got to get through 2 first, and 2 ends in a very strong way too. So once the whole "Where's Appa" thing is over with, it's all just greatness, greatness. So
biggest highlight so far this season, it's just the addition to the team. The fact that they expanded. And she's been such a wonderful character, who in the beginning I'm thinking, oh yeah, one note, she's blind, a bit angry, got a chip on her shoulder. But she, in the 6-7 episodes I've seen her in, she's really become a natural part of that team, and really just added that extra dimension I didn't know it needed. But now she's there. It's significant difference, I think.
I told you back in season 1, she's one of my favorite characters. I say that a lot though on the show. I was like, oh, she's one of my favorite characters.
But
my favorite character. Oh, I love that character.
She's actually the most mature out of all of them. She's the one with the most maturity in her own way.
She really is, because I mean, you honestly think, well, Katara, but Katara's very petty though. Katara's got a lot of that snippiness, and she's definitely. Oh, let's wrap this up, because we got more episodes to go through, and I'm eager to watch the Earth King. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself and VHS Jace, thank you so much for joining us, and we do hope that you join us next time when we know where Appa is, and he's with Aang, and everything's fine, here on Breaking Wind, a Last Airbender, a podcast.
Oh, everything's fine, so nothing will happen to these characters at all.
Not at all. Now. Not at all. Everybody's going to be fine. Nobody's going to get hurt. Everything is going to be great. Nothing catastrophic will happen. And Appa is definitely not going anywhere.
Oh, wait a sec.